I'm Dr. Vasavvi Acharjya. I'm the founder and chairperson of Early Childhood Development Forum. And we work with children in their early childhood years. And we have been conducting a lot of conferences and webinars and training programs for capacity building of educators. And we work with children who are from the marginalized section and try to support them in their educational needs and also that they get the best of early childhood care and education in these years which are so crucial in their lives. So thank you once again for having me here today in this webinar, and it's so interesting. And the video actually kind of, it's made me have a plan to go visit Finland very soon. So if not this April, but one of the coming, webinars, conferences, I would be definitely there. So I put my timer because I've got 10 minutes. And today I would be presenting on peaceful humans. And before I share my screen, I'd just like to say a few words about what Dr. Maria Montessori said. She said that the child is both hope and promise for mankind. A child who imbibes core values such as empathy, compassion, justice, honesty, and so forth will become an individual who can inspire hope in others. And if education is capable of saving humankind, it is something that has immense value, and it involves not only dedication, spiritual development, but also enhancement of the value system and preparing the young citizens to understand the world they live in. Here is where peaceful humans, early years, peace pedagogy comes in. Allow me to share my screen. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes.
Thank you. So peace is what we need the most in today's world. By peace, I don't mean it doesn't imply just the absence of war or violence, but the attitude and human values such as harmony, freedom, equality, and justice, all of which translate to happiness. I'm one of the many others who yearn for peace, and that we may lay the foundation of peace ourselves by inculcating these qualities in our little ones, by modeling behavior that promotes peace, a peaceful demeanor, I would say. For all things are a part of a universal whole, and we all are living in each other in some way or the other. And we are kind of, in one space. And for that, it makes us one big family. So peace carries in its bosom happiness. And the connection between peace and happiness is forever. I love the Finnish education system that places utmost importance on happiness quotient and one that is devoid of competition, but in building true leadership. If I personify the word peace, it will translate into a human being who is a patient listener, a problem solver, an empathetic human being with an aware and altruistic attitude, who is calm, collaborative, and communicative, an ethical human being. So when we talk about the sources of peace, inner peace implies loving and accepting oneself the way we are, living in harmony with oneself. And I feel that without inner peace, it is impossible to attain peace with the social surrounding or in your social life. So from inner peace, we move to the social peace in our social life, living together, accepting each other's differences, resolving conflict, thereby living an enriched life that would enable one to become happy and successful. And then comes peace with the environment. Since we are all connected, we cannot imagine the planet that is our home, the environment, our third teacher, be violated. We need to preserve in order to live in peace and in harmony and in happiness. Peace education is a process of acquiring these values, and these values, if inculcated from the early years, is so important because at this time the children, their brain architecture is developing, and so they kind of absorb all these core values which enable peacekeeping in from right from the start. And this includes a wide range of values like empathy, compassion, responsibility, you name it. And these are things we need to inculcate in them since their early childhood years. So when I talk about this peace education or the peace pedagogy, through this, we want that children, they find an alternative to violence. They learn to recognize and label their emotions, express their feelings, and also kind of be more in control. Children should learn the skills including identifying of biases, accepting diversity, the ability to self-regulate. And all of this will enhance their self-esteem, and they would really turn out to be more wholesome individuals. And also it is very important that children, from the early childhood years, should understand that the things that trigger, that kind of puts us in a position where we are not at peace with ourselves, where we are in conflict with our surroundings. And that, when we go to that, we come to the neuroscience of peace. The human mind is the most complex organ in our organ, and it is extremely difficult to decipher or to decode how our mind works. And I've seen through all these research that there are many triggers. We can also these triggers can be based on different things that kind of disrupts our peace, our harmony, and our happiness. And without going too much deeper into that, I would like to say that since our frontal lobe, which is the cortex, the time it has evolved, which was after our limbic system had it evolved, the frontal lobe can be used in a way to kind of allow people to think and regulate and not react but respond. So these are basically some ways in which we can teach our children to be more in control. One being mindfulness, which has a significant impact in enabling a person to control one's feelings and emotions, and also to be able to self-regulate. Peace building in early childhood education is fast emerging, and like I already said, a child's brain architecture is developing at this time, and so it is really crucial that we work towards these goals from early on. And the objectives are to make our children, our 21st century learners, give them the critical thinking, behavior regulation, and emotional regulation, these core skills, which are the peacekeeping skills right from the start, so that they are happy and successful individuals. Coming to the pedagogy, we have set up a curriculum. We the peace enabling set up a curriculum and the methodology. So I'll just touch over the surface with this, because I don't want to get too deeper. I've got just 3 minutes left. We want an environment which is supportive of a peaceful, kind of a surrounding, like a peace school, which is designed in a manner which is very, very conducive to thinking or behaving in a more peaceful manner. The classroom climate that talks about a peace zone, conflict resolution, the mindset of the facilitator. If I'm a peace educator, what should be my mindset? And the involvement of the family, because family again plays a very crucial role when the child is young. We also have peace language, how we need to communicate, because words spoken are very, very crucial, and how one word can change a child's life. And then we have our peace doll called the Yogaro, which is a kind of a sounding board for the child when the child is over happy, sad, depressed, or got some kind of an emotional issue. So, the child can talk with that doll, because they kind of feel more more freer, or maybe more better when they talk with kind of a doll, or an object, not the human beings who are adults who are, who can kind of form some opinion as regards what they are thinking. So we have the Yogaro. And as far as the curriculum and methodology goes, how we kind of inculcate this is through visual arts, activity worksheets, performing arts, music, dance, drama, and movement, which are enablers that help one get rid of any kind of weight that is boring on them. Storytelling, peace stories that would give the child an insight into how they could respond to a situation, and then of course the mindfulness practices. So these are glimpses of what we've been doing in our Tender Petals schools in the last 10 months, and how teaching them diversity, how teaching them gratitude, friendship has helped them, and they are much peaceful individuals. And this is a paper I presented in our ECDF conference in Bangkok, the outcomes of how this pedagogy has worked on the children and how they have benefited from it. So the learning materials focus on 24 key values, which are connected with inner peace, respect, and non-violence. And it's grouped into 3 main categories. So if I talk about a peace facilitator's mindset, an educator needs to create a bonhomous atmosphere in the classroom, sans competition, because competition is the beginning of war. It ends happiness. She should do away with any kind of hierarchy between a teacher and a student and create an atmosphere which is more collaborative. There is equal participation, and most importantly, there is freedom. Children are extremely responsive to the kindness and love we show them. So let them pursue their affairs and let them be on their own without interference. And that would allow them to be observant, independent, persevering, and happy. Let me conclude with this quote from Dr. Maria Montessori. Peace is what every human being is craving for, and it can be brought about by humanity through children. Thank you.